Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Chess from a dreadful player continues unabated. I don't know, not dreadful. There are certainly worse players out there, lots of them, but most of them are not trying to play chess online. Let's just get out a bishop. This time in, probably. Sure. I can develop a knight instead. Fine. This feels a little uncomfortable. It's not yet. I could just castle. Yeah, that takes care of this nicely. At least this opening feels like non-horrible. Nothing terribly bad is happening, right? Every move is doing something, developing. Okay, my opponent's just mirroring everything, but fine. That's weird. Okay, I mean, I guess I won't put my bishop here, but here's fine. Actually, it kind of sucks. I think they would be happy to make that trade. Let's, what can I do to let me put my bishop here? Just develop the rook a bit? Sure. Support this central file. My king's gonna have to fend for himself, I guess, for a bit. Okay, if here, I can still back up in time, so that's fine. I could plonk a knight in here. Takes would be fine, come with tempo, so I would be all right with that. But it's not accomplishing that much at the moment. Let's just get another piece out. All right, my bishop moved once, theirs moved twice. But they're both off the board, so I'm up a move, and I get to use that move on developing the rook in a way that seems fine. I mean, he's not that useful just at the moment, but this kind of stuff might happen someday, or this. And the main question would be like if he's vulnerable to something, which he doesn't seem to be. Also, is he in the way of anything? Not really. I don't know. Just get a knight here. I won't initiate this trade. But if they do, I don't mind. It gets me here, which is just lovely. Look at that. I suppose so. But I don't mind this, because it gives my rook much better view of the battlefield. What else can I do that's productive? Something with these pawns, but I'm not experienced enough to know the right way to try to develop them. I don't want to expose this square, I don't think. Well, takes two. I'd like to move this pawn at most one. So maybe I can get this guy 2 first? No, I don't know. Let's just go 2 with this guy and try to open this file up. They can only stop it like that, which is sort of not an ideal move to make. Okay, the rook is now threatened. Here, though? Takes allows takes, which would be fine, and it would open up my rook. Here, I could drop back, or over to the side if I wanted. Or I could move the knight preemptively so that if this, I can go here. No, that doesn't work. Let's try this. It should be tough for them to stop me getting somewhere good with that rook. Or with the solving some kind of problem with the pawn. And let's back up just this much. So that I'm keeping my eye on this pawn and this file, should the file open up. If takes, I think I go with queen. I'd like to get this in eventually. It does feel like am I behind? I'm not sure. My pieces are a little bit better developed, but my pawns are a lot worse, and I am down the bishop pair. Takes, 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 or rook takes. I think that's fine. I'm winning a pawn here if I want it. Maybe there's some reason I shouldn't. I don't understand the value of this move. Did they not notice the knight here, maybe? Is the knight pinned for some reason? Unable to take it? He doesn't seem like it. Not pinned, but like tied down. Like maybe I need him here. But I don't think I do. Let's just go with this. Open up the center. And get a really threatening rook. Okay, they trade rooks. Now I have this knight who I guess it must be said is a bit vulnerable. He is, I guess, pinned to this pawn. I could do something like this to try and defend them both. It's tough to pile up on the knight, so I think that might be okay. But then the knight stays pinned because of the queen, right? This means the knight is a little bit less pinned. But I'd like to be on a dark square if I can. Because of their light square bishop. And I think this is fine. It also helps over there a bit. Attacks this. I'm up a pawn. I think my position is a bit worse, but I'm not actually sure. This bishop is not so great as bishops go. Okay, I mean, attacking here, that's fine. I'm happy enough to support my... What if I went here to support the pawn instead of the queen? Or if I just picked up this pawn? That defends the pawn indirectly, sort of, because it means I could go here, which is only a trade. They get to recapture, but it really weakens their king position to do that. So I think here, I would be perfectly happy with. Is there some better response to this? The bishop can't go anywhere with check. There's not an immediate threat on my king. I guess here, here. They do have bishop threatens here, but A, you have to retake the queen first, and then I have tempo to move. And B, this rook is pawn is very well defended. So the main question, I guess, is what's going to happen with this rook on their back rank? He's the X factor I haven't considered very much yet in these calculations. But I think we just take this. We pre-move queen takes. Okay, that's interesting. But I think I am okay with this. If rook here, I'm not quite sure what to do about this pawn. But it's fine, then I'll just have two pawns hanging. And I already have one. They can only take one per turn. Oh, no! That pinned my knight. Oh, that was a cool move. Well played. Ah, but their bishop is hanging too. Oh, fuck! My rook is pinned! Ah. He's tied down to the back rank. Anyway, okay. So this is where finally not having a flight square is coming back to haunt me. I ended up dropping that knight. All right, well, let's just, I mean, try to pick up some of these guys. That's a surprise. I thought you would take my pawn. He seems like quite dangerous, right? And you're blocking your bishop's view of the whole problem. Shouldn't I just push now? Push here, then what? Then it's sort of hard to get the pawn any further. But I keep their rook tied down. Or I could just play rook here, be willing to trade this for one of these pawns. Probably two of them, actually. Here, here, here. They're still forked between these two pawns, right? Here, here. I need to get, like, to unlock this position, I need to get a king over there somehow. But their king is closer, so I don't think that's really going to work. I probably should have grabbed this one, actually, because he's connected. But if here, you can't actually defend it very well? Oh, you could. Here, and then if I try to trace it down, this defends it with the rook. Okay, they're just going to let me have it. There? Why there? I need to get my king involved. I'm dropping this, but like I kind of always was, right? I could have done this and hung on to it for a bit, but I don't think it actually would have... I don't know, maybe I could have done that. The king could have bothered me eventually. I don't know, maybe this was the right idea, and I missed it. But I have a good kingside majority that I have to do something with, and I'm not quite sure what. Maybe that? Rook here is pretty good, actually. I probably shouldn't have allowed that. But I like the idea of getting this pawn as far advanced as I can so that I can get my rook, like, here. Okay, that? I don't understand. What if I just play this? Does that work? Not really, I don't think. Here? We still want to stay on dark squares, as previously discussed. Where is he going? I guess they want to do this kind of thing? No, I don't want to be tied down there, good heavens. I guess this pawn is becoming a problem once the bishop Once he gets a bit further advanced, I won't be able to do anything about him. Maybe I should have gone here. Did I? Why didn't I do that? I thought I wanted to attack this king, I guess. That's pinned. I can't do that. But it would be nice someday. Oh no, that's not going to work. Here, 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 here. No, not quite. It would be here, 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 here. Now the pawn's protected. I can't move the rook. Here, takes, and I'm dead. So I can't get in front of the pawn. I think I am a bit dead here. The bishop should clearly move at this point. No? Oh. I don't know, this seems kind of neat. I think I just don't... I'm having trouble getting enough stuff going over here. I think they're considering this. I have this to pin the bishop. Oh. I'll happily give up this pawn for this one. I think. Ah, that doesn't work. The bishop is guarding here. Although, here, here, here. Yeah, I can guard that pawn. For a bit, anyway. Oh, now I can get this one, right? Unless they go back. Keep this king out of the way. I'll play for a draw, I don't mind. I don't know. I might actually be winning here, but I'm not able to convert it. They don't want it. Yeah, that seems like a good idea. My rook's going to have trouble navigating, but I can do this. Oh, I probably should have come up here, actually. That keeps the king from yeah, now the king can encroach, which is really... Oh, no, this would have been bad, I think. Glad I didn't. Check? Wait a minute, which one do I want to move? Probably... Ooh, we're actually going to get the bishop, aren't we? I don't know, maybe there's some rook check that solves the problem for my opponent. Yeah, like now rook here? No, because then... But the king can't get to either of these squares, and the bishop is pinned. I guess king here would be alright, maybe? I'm certain we're not playing this endgame correctly, either of us. I don't know what is correct, but this does not look like the right... This does not look like how an endgame is supposed to go. I know many books have been written about, like, rook versus rook endgames. Or, like, rook versus rook and one pawn, and under what conditions it's possible to win with the pawn, and under what conditions it's not. Is that like the Fildor? Is that a thing that's related to that? Okay, I get the bishop. And defend the pawn? This seems monstrous. It seems immense. Are they trying for a draw here? Check. And then push? No, then rook takes. Takes. Oh, then I'm just up the... That's not a draw. Oh. I think they should have checked me here, because then I have to run away from the pawn. Now that would have been okay. For them. For me, I mean. Check? That seems great. And now I need to get over here so that I'm safe-ish from rook checks. I can't quite step here because this doesn't actually accomplish anything. But now I can start to do things like chase the king away a bit more. And try to get my king out of my pawn's way. Maybe get my... This isn't really going to work. They're just going to come back here, and then I have to do this. Oh, no, that doesn't work at all. Yeah, that's horrible. Maybe it's not horrible. I might just still be playing for the draw. I think. If I go back here, it's a draw. Is there something better? Here, takes is the draw. Okay, I'd better... I can stall a bit, I guess. Okay, now it's a draw. Alright, I'm sure I had something at the end. Once I got them to make enough blunders in the endgame. I'd say I got them to as if I was making them do it somehow. Look at this nonsense. Okay, it says it was extremely drawish for a long time. I never actually had an opportunity. I don't remember what this... I know they made some blunder in the endgame, but I don't remember what it was. They let me pick up a bishop or something? So I was doing pretty okay much of... I don't know, that's not true. Obviously I'm losing for the majority of the game. But I don't have, like, that many specific blunders, I guess. Like, I only had 2? It's not too bad. All right, show me what I did wrong. It doesn't like this. I thought it was kind of cool. It says, okay, so the point is, at this stage, this is like the chance I had. This was when I was actually winning for a moment. And then I gave it away. What am I supposed to do to win? I can just push the pawn. That defends it. What is it about my position that makes me be winning? And then try to capitalize on that somehow is maybe a question to ask. First, I'm up a pawn. That's nice. My pawn is a little bit more developed. But, like, not really. I have a safer king. Those are some things about this position that are good. I don't see any way to capitalize on the king. I was trying to find, like, knight moves that would do something. Obviously, none of them can attack the king, but I can, like, attack the queen. The problem is that the bishop is protecting these squares. So there's nothing there just now. But maybe I should be trying to hang on to this. And maybe just like a quiet move like this, step out of the way, and then we'll have this in the future, perhaps? It says that move is bad, but not as bad, maybe? Yeah, it's slightly better than what I did. I can just defend with a rook. I don't think that's a great idea. I could try pushing this pawn. It doesn't work at all. They just take here, and I'm in hot water for sure. I could defend the pawn like that, actually. That's better. Oh, yeah, because then I'm covering this guy better, right? Yeah. I was like, get off a light square and go here, but this is a really valuable asset. And it's vulnerable to things like this, maybe. Or this, or something. And just getting it supported is a great improvement. Okay. So, yes, this was the trap that I fell into. The knight became pinned, and my plan for here, involved this, which means attacking the pinned knight. So, I think at this stage, we should just move the knight to defend it. We don't have a lot of desirable ways to do so. I guess this isn't so bad. It's guarded by the bishop, but it attacks the queen. And if they take the knight, I can pick up the bishop, and that would be fine. Try that. No, it says that's pretty bad. Yeah, it does drop this, doesn't it? Oh, I mean, I guess that the knight is actually protected there. And interrupts the bishop view of this, and guards the queen's view of that. Wow, what a move. And even covers this, which is somewhere the rook might want to go someday. Those are much better than what I did. And this pawn is in danger because I didn't do this earlier. Right, they would. And it's saying, like, just don't worry about this pawn. Take care of the knight? Not totally sure why. Anytime they take this pawn, I can still grab that one, I guess. And the queen's tied down to the bishop. Yeah, okay. I mean, I still do see him up here. Okay, now what happened here? Right, I just attacked the bishop. But the bishop can leave. Was there something I could do that would be better? Oh, I could win a pawn back for this, I guess? Because then it takes, and my rook is still here. No, that's awful. Huh. Oh, I can move the knight and guard the rook. Yeah, so that's fine. Wait a minute. What? That's funny. It says these are both fine. Of course. Not only does it defend my own rook, it discovers an attack on their rooks. The fact that my knight is under attack doesn't matter. It thinks these are both equally good. I prefer the one that's defended by a pawn, just in case something bad happens in the future. But they're supposed to trade anyway, which is why it doesn't matter. Okay. That's cool. I missed that. How was I on time at that point? It doesn't show you time on the analysis board for some reason, which is something I often want to know. What the hell is CPL? I don't know. If I hit escape? No, it doesn't close this menu. Yeah, so guarding here was a neat thing I didn't see. I saw that the knight was under attack and that this was checkmate, but I didn't see that I could resolve both of those at once. So what's so wrong with this? Takes. I guess it's just like encouraging too much trading of material. It leaves me with no pieces against one instead of one against two. Maybe. Okay, well, a draw. I think our first, right? Maybe I had one in Rapid? I think I only had one in Blitz before I started recording, right? No, I have had a draw before. Stalemate? Well, obviously, that's sort of what draw means, but... Or maybe it was repetition. Can I look at my draws? How do I view the games? Yeah, and then here's all the filters. Result, draw. I only see one. It was just now. 2 draws. Okay, so it was... Why is it showing stuff that wasn't draws? Just old years ago games against Stockfish? I don't understand this. I just wanted to see if I'd had another draw. I don't think we have on channel. Okay, let's do a puzzle. Just one puzzle. So this rook is hanging? And the only thing protecting it is this knight. The queen is also hanging, so can't I just take this pawn? The knight's tied down to the rook, or, well, to obscuring my queen's view of the rook. And the pawn's tied down to defending the queen, and the king can't take because the queen is right there. So I think I can just take this, and that threatens this knight a second time. And it's only defended once and can't really be defended again. So I think they're going to have to flinch, and I'll end up with this somehow. Yeah. And I just pick up the rook, right? There's not some funny business? Yeah. Okay, I'm happy with that. I've done some puzzles off camera, and like I just mess up puzzle after puzzle. So it's nice to get one and get it quickly at that. See the key idea right away and go for it. This bishop is in danger. We have checks like this. I don't think I could justify any kind of queen sack here. This is also a check, but just scooped up. Likewise here. King takes, and we're pretty much just bereft here. Even knight takes. There are things like this which attack the queen. But there are obvious problems with that, like this. And also it's undefended. So there is, like, though, the idea that, like, if here, they can't really do anything involving the rook. They do have to move the queen. Otherwise, they lose a queen. So, oh, or just move the knight. I see. And then we could trade rooks. But that doesn't seem to have given me any big advantage, does it? I get this. Check and pick up the second rook? Huh. But what if, say, queen here? Then after takes, attacking the queen doesn't really work anymore. There's other stuff you could look at, like this pins the knight, but it's just taken by the rook. This attacks the knight. That's kind of cool. But takes, and then I can't really recapture unless I can find some tactic. It would have to start here, right? Check. King somewhere back here, and then I'm kind of useless. Oh, I was only going to do one puzzle, wasn't I? Oh well. I mean, I can retreat the bishop and defend the rook. Like, remember, my bishop is in danger, but also pinned a little bit, right? And so we have something similar to, like, in the last game where I should have moved the knight here, like so. We have a similar thing I could do with the bishop. I could go here. Guard the rook and save the bishop. But it's the kind of move that it's hard to see being right in a puzzle because it's not very forceful. It's just a lot of responses the opponent could make. I don't know. I don't see much of anything. here, no, that doesn't work. The queen just gets captured, right? So this is like a check. This is a forceful move that I have that's not immediately losing. And so it seems like I should investigate that further. It forces king to one of these two squares. Is there some reason that one of them is bad? Because if so, I can force a single move and then evaluate that further. I think here might be bad. Because then I have bishop here, skewering or pinning the queen to the king. But this square is so heavily defended by the black pieces. I just don't see how that could be right. What if after this, I'm guaranteed to have aligned this rook, because the king has to move. Or no, actually this would be, well, probably pretty bad. I would just take here, right? Bishop's guarding. Here, here. And then the king has to go to one of these two squares again anyway. But in the meantime, I've opened up a million checks against him. Not even one of those two. It has to be exactly here. And I could, like, chase him this way, and then eventually get this bishop a bit more involved somehow, probably. I think that would be bad. So I think this requires one of these two moves. Suppose king... Let's actually draw that arrow in red. Suppose king here. I'll leave that in, I guess. The thing that seems most obvious to me would be something like this, but not yet. Like, maybe throw the queen in here first for takes. And then if I could make some forcing move with the bishop, I would have this attack. And here is a forcing move with the bishop. It attacks the queen, who's pinned to the king. You kind of have to do this. And then I get to pick up the second rook. But at the end of all this mess, I'm down a queen and a bishop and up two rooks, which is awful. Ah! Here's something I didn't notice. Bishop here is not actually hanging, although it looks like it is. Because here, check. King moves, grab the rook. So, this is a way to defend this bishop and pin the knight to the king, which could be useful. And just in general, like, provide support for this diagonal, which might be useful for my queen somehow. I like that idea. Nope. Here. Oh. Luring the king forward so that this is checkmate. We have a clear line on all these files and everything else adjacent to the king. That's kind of a classic checkmating position, is king with two pawns on the same color and then a queen on the opposite color seeing through them. If the queen is supported, then that's the end of the game. Okay, good puzzle. That's all for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.